again, everyone. Well, I've just got back from taking my husband to the hospital to have his stitches removed from his wrist following his carpal tunnel surgery, and the surgeon was very pleased with how it's gone, so all's good. I have been having a play since I went on my last IndigoBlu weekend. I've been having a play with resin moulding. Honestly, talk about learning curve. Gracious me, this stuff that I've got goes off very, very quickly. If you saw my previous video when I used some resin, the whole thing sort of set in the little cup I'd got before I could pour it, because I was leaving it for the length of time that I was for the previous variety of resin, and you know, not the same. So I'm learning. I've still got a lot to learn, I think, really. But what I thought I would do is I'd try and make a card for my friend for her birthday in October, so I've got plenty of time. But her initial is M, and M is one of the letters from my little set that I broke. So I'm hoping that I can actually, when I come to put it in the frame, sort of piece it together. Stick it in a bit of, you know, whatever. So what I'm thinking is, I found a little die, one of these nesting dies. I can't remember the make. I'm not sure if this is a press cut or not, but that will fit in there. Not exactly. The next size up is too big, so it's going to have a little bit of a gap around the edge. But I thought I would do something, some sort of treatment on one of these. I was thinking maybe something deep blue and gold, or I was wondering about a little bit of gilding flakes and a little bit of luscious powder, you know. This, I thought I would just gild it. I thought I would do it with black gesso, and then once that's dry, put some gold luscious on or whatever, and gold for the letter M as well. So the first thing I want to do, so it'll have time to sort of dry off, is put some gesso onto this little frame and onto the letter M. I just hope it's going to work, really. We'll see. Okay. Here's my gesso. Right. Just gesso the whole thing. Get it into all the nooks and crannies. The difficulty is pouring. I use a little paper cup to mix the two components of the resin in, and it doesn't pour incredibly well. It kind of dribbles. So a lot of stuff finishes up on this mat. I mean, I could have videoed it, but it went on for hours, and you know, it would be so difficult to kind of edit, really. So anyway, these things are sent to dry. I'm just hoping that this will kind of do. Hope it'll look all right in the end. This little piece of card I've got here is a piece, it's not exactly like grey board, it's not that thick, but it is thicker than my regular cardstock. I don't know what that is, a bit of loose something or other. Put it over there. So, you know, it's going to be a bit more robust, and once it's got, I could put gesso on that as well, I suppose. We'll see. But we'll paint this first. Should have put a glove on, shouldn't I? Here's one. Let's just pop this on. Gesso, notorious for getting me in a pickle. Okay. I think that's mostly covered now, the bit that I want anyway. Okay, it's a pretty little frame, isn't it? I got a job lot. Anyway, here's my M. It's going to be awkward. These letters are so sort of frail that you know, it's difficult to get them without cracking them. And I think where this part of the letter cracked was, I think there was probably a little bit of an air bubble. I tried to start pouring, and I think I hadn't actually stirred for long enough because I was scared that it would go off so quickly. I didn't actually leave it long enough, but you know, it's all experience, isn't it, really? Is that all covered now? Pretty much, I think. Okay. There. I was thinking this could just basically go on a card panel as is, but that'll be for another day. What I'd like to do today really is just this, if possible. I think it's covered. Okay, just pop that in some water. Actually, a bit of this might be quite nice, mightn't it? This is a piece of rice paper, I think, and that's quite a nice little piece just there. Let me cut a bit of this out. I think I might use this. Okay, my latest thoughts are to paint these two bits with gilding gum mixed with luscious powder, different colours. Then this is a little piece of card. I think I'll join another one to it, if I can find one somewhere. To make it a bit more robust, because it's just thin card. So I've got a brown one there. Let me just join that to it. And then what I thought I would do is put some crystal glaze over it, and while it is wet, see if I can stick the M into it. That's the thinking. Whether the actual doing will come out anywhere close to that is kind of anybody's guess. So let's have a go. I was thinking I was going to do gilding flakes and luscious on there, but I just saw this piece of rice paper which was left over from something or other, which is rather pretty, but I would like it to be highly shiny. So let's just mix a little bit of gilding gum with some luscious. We'll have 1, 2, 3. Okay. Seems a bit wet. Right, let's have a brush and just wet it for a minute so that I've got to... Let's put this blue on. Mix a bit of this blue. It's just called blue. It's rather a lot here. May have to mix a bit of black. Let's see how we go. Gilding gum makes a kind of... It kind of makes a waxy, glazy stuff. I kind of would like this to be... Let's do some gold. Let's get another brush. just going to dry this off so that I can get some gold all over it. I don't care for the blue. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to re-gesso this and just do black like that. So dry it off and re-gesso. Actually, let's try this first. I like the bit of blue showing through now. Oh dear, how fickle. Let's just have a look. Yeah, I think that'll go quite nicely. Right. The question is, do I stick this in? Yes. Stick this in first and then do the crystal glaze. I think I will. I think I will. Right. So it won't matter if the crystal glaze goes into the outside either, will it? So let's do this. Make sure it's stuck down. Right. Okay. Now the question, the moment of truth. Well, I kind of think this is going to be it, really. I've just got a small card. This is half a sheet of A4, cut lengthways, tent folded, with a panel, slightly smaller, and an oval aperture cut. I did decide to put another piece of card behind, mainly because this has got to be stuck. And I didn't want it to be stuck to this part of the card so that it might show through inside. Plus, I think a little bit of colour there doesn't do any harm. It's not quite set. The crystal glaze, it's not quite clear yet. It's still a little bit cloudy. And I actually think that our M is actually a W, but, you know, we won't worry about it. I think the M probably broke, you know, considerably. So I'm just going to put plain blue. I'm not going to do anything with it. I wondered about embossing and all that kind of stuff, but to be honest, there's so much sort of detail with that it's not required to be here. So just pop that on there. I've put some double-sided tape on the back of this, so I'm just going to remove that, and then we can put our card front on, and then we can arrange it's like a cameo almost, isn't it, really, but with an initial in it. So I'm hoping that it will, as I say, it's starting to clear here a bit more. It's quite pretty. So it was a total experiment. I was fascinated doing all this pouring, and you know, it was going everywhere. The difficulty is, I think I need to try and find something that I'm going to be able to pour from. But then you get a residue left in, and you might have to throw it away. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that. Either just practice with one of these cups and see what, I don't know. I'll show you one of the cups. They're quite small. I got small lollipop sticks and small cups. This is a set here. Got them cheaply on Amazon, and they're just about the right size for the amount of pouring that I want to do, actually. I think they call them a 4-ounce cup or something. It's really quite small, which is brilliant, but I can't pour from them very well. I do pinch the side to try and make a lip, but then it sort of dribbles down. So I think it might be down to practice. Who knows? I'll just put some glue stick on this so that I've got a bit of manoeuvrability, and I'll probably wait until that's completely set before putting the glue on that. I'll probably use something like Grab and Go on that. It's quite a hefty sort of glue. Let's get this centralised. And that's going to go in there like that. And, you know, I think the sentiment is going to be sort of implicit. It's for my friend, from me. I'm not going to put happy birthday or anything else on that. It's just going to stay totally as is. Let's put that on here. Do the wash. So there we go. There's our card. I'm going to wait until it's completely set before I stick it in here, and I'll probably use some grab and go glue. That's tricky to say. To stick it down. I've put the blue in, and I'm kind of quite pleased with that. I've got to find ways of using my resin pours that I've done. This will be handed to my friend. It's not going to have to go through the post, so no questions about that. If it was going to have to go through the post, it would have to probably go into a little box and then, you know, the appropriate postage paid. But so it's just a trial, really, but it was a lot of fun. So I hope you had fun too watching, and come back and see me very, very soon.